Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Razovy, and today I want to talk about Onii-chan wa Oshimai. Basically, the shorter form is ONIMAI, and I'm going to call it that as well, because I don't want to constantly say the full title. I hope you understand. Now, Onii-chan wa Oshimai, or ONIMAI, I did it again, is actually a currently airing anime. It depends on, of course, when you watch this video, but at this point in time, it is airing. 3 episodes are out. And I want to talk about the first 3 episodes. Now, I'm not going to go into detail. I don't want to spoil anything. But basically, what I want to do is give my opinion on whether I will continue watching this show, yes or no, and whether I would recommend you to watch it as well if you haven't started it yet. Because it's a currently airing show, and it's always kind of iffy, to whether a show is worth it or not, whether you should invest your time watching an anime or not, because there's so many classics. For example, recently I talked about Jormungand, and of course Jormungand is crazy good, so which is of course a classic. And I'm also going to talk about other classic stuff, so it's always kind of iffy, should you watch newer stuff when there's so many good older stuff out there. In this case, we're gonna take a look at ONIMAI. Now, ONIMAI, I haven't read the manga. I have read maybe a couple of chapters. It wasn't something that I necessarily enjoyed all that much. I didn't hate it, really, I didn't. But at the time, I remember very clearly, I was reading Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and that was so much better than this, in my opinion. So I just couldn't be bothered reading this manga as well. Let me quickly give you the manga I was reading here. This one, there's also an anime of this one. The anime is just as good, really. Normally speaking, it's always the manga that's better. In this case, anime is just as good. Maybe in some cases, especially when it comes to the art, is even better than the manga. Anyway, I was reading this Kobayashi-san Chi no Meido Dragon, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna quit the ONIMAI manga and just continue with Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Now, I did know what I was getting into when I started watching this anime. Basically, it's about this well, you only see girls, but it's about this guy, right, who is turned into a girl by his sister. Where's his sister? Here it is, Mihari. And he's turned into a girl, and then he basically faces all of the problems that a person would have if they go from being a man to a woman. And then all those problems that come with it, right? I won't spoil like all the things because that would be kind of lame. But for example, the idea that how to take care of yourself properly as a woman instead of just as a guy, washing your hair once and boom, you're done. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So proper healthcare and all that kind of stuff. That's, I believe, the first episode or second. Anyway, so it's a very plain, it's a very simple premise, but it's fun. It's a fun premise. I would say that if you enjoy slice of life anime and you enjoy comedy anime and that kind of stuff, this is something that you would enjoy. Would I say that it's incredibly good though? No. If you are currently watching a classic anime, something like Parasite or Full Metal Alchemist, Haikyuu, Jormungand, like we talked about, if you're watching that, I would not advise you to stop watching that and then to start this up or something. But if you are a fan of like the current season, if you're a seasonal anime watcher, if that is something that you enjoy, would I then recommend it? Yeah, sure. I do believe that it's worth it, but only on the premise that you enjoy the more relaxed pace of storytelling. If you don't like that, then you're not going to like this. There's also a lot of kind of iffy, ecchi stuff. Some people like it, others don't. It is kind of odd because I only see the comedies and slice of life tags on this one, but there's a lot of ecchi stuff going on in this anime as well. Now, for some, that's a plus. For others, that's a minus. I don't know. It depends on who you are, of course, as a person. But it's okay. Even without the ecchi stuff, it's still a nice story. But would I recommend it to anyone? No. I am not really watching a lot of seasonal anime at this point because I'm not interested in most of the seasonals that are currently out. This is one of the few that I decided to pick up because I read some chapters of the manga, and I'm kind of thinking about, should I continue watching it? Is it worth it for me to continue watching this? Because I'm actually rewatching Jormungand, I'm rewatching Samurai Champloo, so I'm kind of like, okay, what should I do? Is it worth it to continue this? And I've decided that I will continue watching this. I do believe that it's worth my time, but I'm very glad that it's only one episode a week. If I would have to binge watch this, if someone would like sit me down and say, okay, Razovy, you're gonna binge watch all of this, that would not be enjoyable to me, because the story is not good enough for me to enjoy it more than like half an hour. But will I continue watching it? Yes, it is funny enough, and the characters are nice enough and interesting enough that I would say it's worth your time. But only if you like slice of life and comedy anime. If that is something you do not enjoy, there is no way that you're going to enjoy this. This is also not one of those, how should I put it, like gateway anime into slice of life or something. This is very niche. A very niche audience likes this. Apparently, I'm one of those, but it's very niche. So this is not one of those gateway to slice of life or gateway to comedy anime. There's no way. Really, there's no way. Also, I'm currently looking at the recommendations, and I see it being compared to, for example, Himoto Umaru-chan and Watamote. I don't really get it. These are not very similar whatsoever. The main protagonist that is turned into a girl is kind of a shut-in, so I can see why they would pick the Watamote one, and I can see why they would pick Himoto Umaru-chan, but it doesn't make, it's not very similar. It's not similar whatsoever. So I can't really compare this anime to a lot of other stuff. Maybe to this one, yeah, Eromanga Sensei. This is kind of like the vibe I get from this anime. It's very, very edgy sometimes, and it's not something that I'm necessarily all that crazy about, but it's part of the show, and I guess it's part of this niche. But yeah, so feel free to take a look at it. Something that is kind of nice about this show is that if you watch the first episode and you didn't like it, there is no way you're gonna like the other ones. This is not one of those anime where you have to use the 3-episode rule like the 3-episode rule, where you need to first watch the first 3 episodes before you can make up your mind about it. This is not one of those anime. Like, if you don't like it in the first episode, there's no way you're gonna like the other ones. I can assure you that. Now, I have made on my TikTok, I have made multiple videos about this anime. I make fun scenes and all that kind of stuff. Like, I include them in my TikTok. I'll leave a link to my TikTok in the pinned comment, so you can take a look at some of those clips about Onimai. And if those speak to you, if that is something that you might enjoy, then check it out. But if you have checked out my TikTok and you checked out those videos and they don't speak to you, just skip this one. Really, it's not that good. It really isn't. It's okay, but nothing too special. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click on the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, you do like this kind of content, then of course subscribe. It's a win-win for the both of us. And frankly, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I was Razovy, and you were you. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.